It's their loss, not our problem. All right. So I'll tell you what's happening now for today. I'm going to run through one set of slides, which is this lecture note on commercialization. I'll do that in about half an hour, less than half an hour. We've already been talking about some of those things as part of our discussion. So don't worry about exactly what's written on the slide. I've given Divya a copy of all these slides. She's going to make copies and you will get all lecture notes. You can read them at your convenience. And after this session, we are going to identify your invention that you want to work on. And because of the class size, we are going to do in group of 6 students each. So you will have to somehow make group of 6 of you. And I'm not sure how would you count people who are not here. If you want to count, it's up to you. But I want 6 students of 6 groups each formed today, all right? If you have a very good friend who you want to be involved, you can count them in, do whatever it takes. Now, this 6 group of students will discuss, we'll have some time, we'll do it. Ideally, I've been asking, give me a room where we can have round table with 6 people sitting on one table. But this being a classical old university, they don't have any of that setup. So we have what we have to live with it. Let's try to make the best of it. So what you can do is you can create clusters, maybe 6 can sit in these 6 chairs and somehow move your group around. Or if you want, you can even sit outside. Now, once that group is formed, you will talk about, it must be my phone. You will talk through the invention that each one of you has thought about, come up with some strategy of picking one of those 6. Okay, so each group works on one invention, not individual invention. This is going to be group invention. All right, once you have done that, me and Indu will help you in navigating through it, talking about it, ruling out something based on whatever understanding you have, try to pick those. Then on those inventions, so let's visualize your group of 6 students, one problem identified, okay? Then you will work through everything that we are talking through this exercise. We talked about patents, trademarks, so asking question, will there be a trademark for it? Should we go for a patent? If patent, which countries we should go for patenting? Again, there's no right or wrong answer, it's your answer. So you think, group should think about what's the best approach to deal with it, come up with an answer. You should be able to defend what you are picking up. That's the trick, okay? So my approach is either you convince me or I should convince you. So if we are talking to each other, you should be able to convince me that I've selected trademark or I'm developing a new variety of plants, so it'll be a plant breeder, right? Or I don't want to invest money on patenting, I want to keep it confidential, it's our family business. That's fine as well, whatever you want to decide. Then you will work on that assignment today on 2 aspects, commercialization that I'm covering, and we'll be helping you with that process. You will do the same thing tomorrow with 2 topics that we'll cover in the first half. Second half, you'll come back to the same problem, same group, sit in your group and work through that assignment. Do that on Wednesday, do that on Thursday. Friday, each group will make a presentation of 5 minutes. There is an assessment as part of this exercise for you to get the certificate, which is a requirement of GYAN program. I won't be here, but Indu will run that. I'm leaving on Wednesday evening, so I'm with you on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Indu will cover Thursday and Friday. All right? On Friday, each group will make a presentation of 5 minutes about what you have learned through these 4 days. You can have maximum 5 slides. 5 slides, 5 minutes. All right? And group also has to decide who is presenting. Is each person presenting 1 slide, or somebody who is very smart in presenting, they are doing the presentation for everyone. You do group projects, right? You know how bad they are. They never work, right? most students hate group projects. It's only 1 or 2 people who end up doing the work for everyone else, right? And everybody thinks I'm doing for everyone, but others are not doing it. So you'll need to go through the same process again. All right? So on the last day, each one of you, but you'll get all 5, how many? 6. All 6 members of the group will get pass or fail, and that will be end of this course. Is it clear? Any question that you have, how you are going to run it?
You have to do a presentation on the innovation we are
No. What you have done with the innovation. So you pick up innovation. Like this morning we talked about patents, country, plant breeder rights, trademarks, copyright. I want you to think through your innovation. Your innovation can be a new form of music, right? Now that music you cannot be patented. We heard this morning that you have to have copyright on that. So you can say, we'll go with copyright. That's our selection. So you need to present your invention. You need to present how you're going to manage that. Okay? Somebody was thinking of a patent. They may say, I'm not going to file in China. I don't care what Chinese do. That's fine. That's your call. But then you lose 1.5 billion people of the world who can buy your product. So that's the kind of discussion you need to have. Now, this exercise you may have to do outside hours that we are covering together. So you might have to sit together at dinner time, talk through your process, think through it. You may have to do some homework on it. The way it is structured, you won't have time to work on it here. You'll get some time, but not a lot of time. And I'll try to address your questions, like if we are talking something today, maybe tomorrow morning we can keep half an hour just for discussion. So you pick up an invention today, talk through it during dinner time, come back tomorrow and say, this is what we are thinking, is this the right approach? We can have some of that discussion tomorrow. But for me to be able to answer, I need you to have questions. All right? So I'll repeat again, group of 6 each, 1 invention, work through the assignment through all these different aspects, 5 minutes presentation on the last day, 5 minutes, 5 slides. You will work on the same assignment throughout 4 days. You're not changing your problem. So we'll spend some time on thinking about it carefully today. You may want to keep 2 options and maybe delete 1 tomorrow. That's also an idea. Okay? Again, it's not a course exam. We probably won't fail anyone. I want you to enjoy this process. I want you to learn with me. That's the objective. Marks, don't care. Who cares? You know, that's not important here. What's important is if you are spending your time with me, you're committing your valuable time, you should get something in return for it. That's what I would like to see happening. Okay? I'm sure there was no compulsion for you to attend this course. So if you're doing it by choice, you're committing your time and you need to get value for it. If you don't get that, then I'm failed in my purpose. All right? Okay. So let's look at commercialization. Trends, challenges. So what do we mean by commercialization? Commercialization means you have identified an invention. How would you try to sell it to someone? What I was showing you with levodopa or carbidopa, I'm trying to sell that to someone. The selling is not to sell my injection, right? I don't have an injection to sell. The selling is for someone to buy, make them invest into my project. Have you seen Shark Tank? Yes? Anyone who has not seen it? You have not seen it? You need to see Shark Tank. If you are interested in IP, innovation, commercialization, I love that program. I've seen almost all episodes of it. Just different way people present their idea and how investors critique them, how they make it hard for them, how they rubbish number of ideas. This is not going to sell, rubbish, right? You've seen that happening. So that, because investor is looking from, your intention is different, investor is thinking from a different angle. They want to see return on investment. So what commercialization means, basically Shark Tank thing. In nutshell, that's what I mean by commercialization. So we'll talk about defining commercialization, innovation journey, what's happening in the field, what are opportunities, case studies, some approaches, and your role. What is commercialization? Process of bringing new service and products to the market. Why do we do any kind of invention? Just because we want to, remember, make money? You may not say it first. You may say we want to help mankind. You may say money second. That's your choice. But money has to be there. If money is not there, it will not work. Okay? If you want to be philosophical and you can say, I'm passionate about this, I want to solve this problem. I'm passionate about farmers, I'm passionate about patients, I want to help them. Do that, that's fine. Keep that as number one. But make sure to talk of money. It just won't work without money, unfortunately.
Some people work for name and fame also. Think of their innovation.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's see what others think. I have my fields, my thinking, but let me listen from others. She is saying that some people for work and name and fame, they don't work. Are you saying they don't work for money?
Obviously, but the
No. Yes or no?
first priority is there.
Okay, first priority is fine, but the money is there or not? Do you know of anyone who works for name and fame without thinking of money? Can you give me one example? Yeah? APJ Abdul Kalam. I don't know enough about him to make any comment. I knew he was President of India, but not in my time. So I've not read a lot about him. I'm sure as a president he must have got money, but I don't know enough, so I should not make any comment on it. Okay.
Basic money everyone wants. They are not mad about money, but
Yes.
basic money.
The degree of money needs can be different, right? I agree. The degree of requirements can, some people can have 100 million, they may still say I'm poor. Somebody can have $100 in the pocket and they can enjoy it. So everybody's perception. I have 2 kids. Our daughter is younger. She is very smart girl. If she would score 99, she would come home and cry and go and fight with the teacher next day. Where did I lose my 1 mark? That's our daughter. And our son is an engineer now. If he gets 51 marks, he will come and party next day. He will say, I needed 50 to pass. I've got 51. Both kids are born to the same parents, same food, we have never differentiated between kids. Same education, they went to the same school. All that, damage done to the parents, both of them did the equal damage. So all of that has, but they're very different, right? Who is right, who is wrong? Our son is very successful in his job. He loves, he's got 4 promotions in 5 years as a mechanical engineer. He does so well. Who cares about 51 marks? The job doesn't care. So it's different for everyone. So I don't think I have a right answer for you, but you can keep name and fame first. That's fine. All right. So commercialization is process of bringing new products or services to market. What is the journey? As I said earlier, it's a marathon, not a sprint, which means you can't start something today and start selling it tomorrow. It might work for a few days, it will fall apart. It won't go very far. Okay? So idea and research, this is the birth of the concept. IP protection that we talked about. Proof of concept. So if we take example of Vaishnavi is not here, maybe we can continue the same example. The drone which can sense the farm. Okay? Maybe, how are you doing for time? 10 minutes. Anyone has any other idea? I don't like to do things in somebody's absence. Vaishnavi is not here. Yes. Nanobots that can?
Nanobots that can harvest marine natural products.
Nanobots that can harvest marine natural products.
Yes.
Okay, explain a bit more.
Basically, they have to be moisture, pressure resistant and water resistant.
Okay,
So can
what's your name? Shivan.
Shivan.
Okay, let's pick a Shivan's example. Shivan is keen on developing a nanobot that can collect marine natural products. Basically, go to the sea, collect all that is useful in the sea, right? Now, what are the issues around here? Survival in sea water, pressure, being sensitive to picking what they want to pick, what you want them to pick. All right? So, great idea, definitely worth pursuing. Now, I don't know what exists out there. It may already be there somewhere in China. They have everything. That's something interesting you will find when you start searching. Whatever idea you comes to mind, somebody somewhere has worked on it. So you have to be careful about that. That's part of second phase. So let's work on Shivan's idea, a nanobot that can collect marine bioproducts. That's idea and research, IP protection. So what you'll do here, in this case, it's not copyright, it's not plant breeder right, it's not trademark. You have to have a patent for it, right? So you'll have to search for, has somebody already reported a nanobot or some other name? Somebody may calling it, whatever name you want to pick, a microbat or an AI bot, but maybe doing the same thing. So you'll have to be careful in judging that, because patent office will look at it. If somebody had developed it and they call it microbot, you will not get a patent on it. Okay? So patent search, you look for innovation, which means novelty, new, usefulness, which is it is useful, and non-obvious. Yeah, I would imagine it's non-obvious for now. Okay? So that means you can get a patent on it if nobody has reported it. That's your IP thing. Then comes proof of concept, validation, technology, potential, validation of technology. So you will have to create some type of prototype before even you can file a patent. Patent normally would have an example of how this technique will work. So you'll have to create that first before going to filing a patent. Right? So you need to validate, like what I have done with my levodopa carbidopa injection. We have made it, we have shown the release profile, we have validated that our combination works, it releases for 7 days. Same thing. Next step is prototyping, building and refining the product, market validation. That's where you start thinking of commercialization. Who will buy it? I can design it, but who will buy it from me? Either from me or from somebody I license to. Okay? That's market validation. Business planning, creating a roadmap for success. That's the next step, which we'll be talking tomorrow. Capital raising. How would you find money? That's what they do in Shark Tank. That's all capital raising. They come up with idea, they show a prototype. I don't know if you remember the example, they will some kind of savory namkeen and all, and they will feed to them investors and say, taste my namkeen, it's so good, and then they will say, it's, Haldiram says the same thing, why should we buy it from you? So all of that part of, that is what is capital raising. I'm in the process of, I'm almost prototyping, but we are doing business planning and capital raising first. Because for me to come up with a good prototype, I need money, which is a product which will have answer to all the questions that you were asking me this morning. Right? I don't have funding to do that, so I'm going to capital raising first. So this, again, as you can already see from my example, this sequence doesn't always work in that order. But you will have to do all of these before you can get to launch and scale. Right? You may have a rich grandfather who says, I'm dying, here is $100 million, take it and develop it. So your money problem may not be a problem, but it can be a big problem for me. So everyone is different, every case is different. Trends in commercialization, globalization of market is becoming a big thing. I don't know if you won't believe if I tell you, I've seen a time when there was no phone. You won't believe that, right? Many of you were not even born at that time. When there was no phone, no internet, no computers. I've seen in my lifetime. So when I was doing my PhD, master's, there was no, we got a thesis written on a typewriter. PhD, we got access to emails. When I finished PhD, I went to Chicago. That was the first time I got access to internet. Slow internet, but used to work. That's the first time we bought a phone. Our phone used to be like this chunky, bulky, forget the screen. Screen came a bit late, long later. So all those kind of things. So technology evolves, but what is now is globalization of market. Now I'm sure on Instagram and TikTok and whatever other programs you use, you must be seeing everything that's available everywhere in the world, right? So Shivan's nanobot, if he develops it here, somebody in Japan may be keen on buying it. If he posts on Instagram after IP protection, somebody in Russia may be keen on buying that product. So there's a globalization of market which is now happening, and it's getting better and better with time. AI is another new thing, digitalization, open innovation. You know what is open innovation? Have you heard of OpenAI? ChatGPT is OpenAI. So everything is in public domain. It pulls data from everywhere, fires it back at you. Okay? You might have on Punjab University website, Chitkara University website. If you ask where can I do pharmacy in this part of the world, it will pull out information from there. So that's OpenAI. Sustainable and ethical, that's everywhere now. Valley of death. Have you heard of this term? No? So valley of death is the time when you need money to do things. So levodopa and carbidopa, where we are now, we are almost at valley of death. So I have a PhD student who's working on it. She's finishing in 6 months' time. She got a patent filed. She got media release. She's done everything that she had to do. She'll now finish. I can't stop her. I don't want to stop her. All right? For me to go to the next phase, I need to hire a staff, for which I need $150,000. Unless I have that money, I cannot go to the next step. If I'm not able to find that money in next 6 months' time, my project will die. So that's my valley of death. And that happens to every project. Every project, Shivan may start with some money borrowing from friends and family, create some nanobot, talk to a mechanical engineer, but for him to get his prototype to a right shape and form and even patent filing, he would need more money. And that's what we mean by value of death. That's where you need investor who believes in you, who is willing to put. Somehow you need to find money to get that done. Okay? Now that's something you need to think for your invention. How will you find money to develop it? That's part of the exercise. Whatever your invention think of, it's all hypothetical. You're not going to borrow money from somewhere. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to do that. But you can say, I have a rich uncle, I'll get from him. That's fine, if you have a rich uncle. Or an aunt who is going to die, but get all inheritance, fine, as long as you have that. Okay? Challenges in commercialization, funding gaps, regulatory hurdles. Again, we were talking of Vaishnavi's invention around drone. Same thing can happen to his thing. We can design a nanobot, but then is he allowed to go and do the farming or collect that? Some countries may that, some country may say you're not allowed to use automated system in the sea. So all that regulatory hurdles will come into place. Market adoption, will people buy it? Will people feel very scared of that thing? Okay? IP enforcement and talent scarcity. So IP we have talked about, talent is another big issue. So for Shivan to be able to design that nanobot, he will need mechanical engineers, he will need mechatronics people who can bring in their expertise. If he had unlimited funds, it will be easy to source for him. But if he is short on money, then he still wants to do it. How do you do that? So it's mix of, again, number of factors. Talent is the biggest issue in innovation. That's the biggest challenge for you to find the right partners. And that's where That's part of this session, is talking about partnerships, collaboration. If you can't do it, Shivan may have this idea, but he may say, I can't do it. Let me find a rich friend who can invest money into it. I'll give 50% equity to this person. So he might have to share his idea with this friend in order to get money from him to be able to reach somewhere. Or he can choose, I don't want money from this, I want to keep all 100%, but I don't have money to develop it further. What will happen? Right? That's part of this process. Opportunities in commercialization, strategic partnerships, government support, new investment models, crowdfunding, global digital platforms. So these are all. Have you heard of the term crowdfunding? Do you know that? Does it happen in India? Yeah?
Crowdfunding is, but I have seen it in internet that for a specific project, people they appeal to the masses and people pour in money.
Correct. You're absolutely right. So you create, there are websites which support crowdfunding thing, where you present your idea, problem, challenge. My mother is dying, I need $50,000 for treatment. And people donate money sincerely. No, that's not sharing, it's donation. It's a donation. So Shivan may post that idea that I want to develop this, and for that I need this much money, and there you might be lucky. Somebody somewhere may say, I want to help the environment, I want to see people benefiting from sea, I want to donate some money. Okay. But then he has to be careful that if he posts on internet, without filing a patent, somebody may pick that idea and start developing it before he takes it there. Right? The biggest challenge for us is, I'm very scared of Chinese people. And there is a reason. I've done a lot of work in China. I've traveled to China probably 20 times in the last 5-6 years. So I do a lot of traveling there. I collaborate with a lot of people. They're amazing people, very hardworking, but they're very smart. And they have a lot of resources. So if I tell you a pharmaceutics lab, we work with Shandong University. A pharmaceutics lab would have typically, one university would have probably 150 pharmaceutics masters. Each master student will spend 3 years in their degree. So if I talk to a supervisor there, someone like Indu or me, they might have 10 master students working with them every year. If I present any idea they want to copy and steal from me, they can do it like this. In Australia, it will probably take me 5 years to develop that. China, they will have it in 3 months' time. So the speed is amazing. India can't beat that. India has a lot of good things, but you can't beat Chinese strength, Chinese speed and intelligence at which they work on things. And they're very good in copying. They don't care about patents, they don't have any respect for anything. If we can use it, we are going to use it. It's a communist country. That's their model. Right? Yeah. I mean, you would have seen a lot of Chinese stuff in Indian market. How come a country like China can sell in India? Why are they able to survive here? Why are you not buying Indian-made car? And I went for lunch, and this car was MG car, which is a Chinese company. Right? Why are they? How are they able to make a market here in this country? Price. They copy ideas from bigger car manufacturers without caring for patents, modify them, and they. So you and me as a buyer, we are getting extra features in the car for much less price. You don't have to buy Porsche and BMW and Audi. You get that in MG car. Okay, so that's the, so you do that. Now, again, I have 6 different examples. I'll skip that discussion. So I have success story of Moderna. You know about COVID vaccine, how successful it was. That was a commercialization thing. Then this one is a failure thing. AI, again, I'll skip through these. Have you heard of green meat? Plant meat? Is it sold in Australia, in India? Can you buy this? Virat Kohli has a brand? Yeah. So this is another success story which has worked quite well in many countries, which is people who are vegetarian, who don't want to kill animals but still want to get meat taste. This is a feature. Now this is Very similar to your idea, Shivan. Green farming robot. You were talking of collecting from marine products. This is a failure story. Sorry. I'm not trying to tell you that your story will fail, but this example is very close. So they designed a robot which can help with farming, but it was designed for a particular plant species and particular conditions, and nobody bought it. So something for you to think of, that you don't end up with that kind of failure in your assignment.
And how to get these failure examples, like case studies, success case studies are important to get this, like only robots are available easily, or like how to search for the failure case studies.
To prepare for this course, I've spent 3 months.
This, like after intensive search only we can find the failures. So the successful one are very popular. We can get them.
Correct. So success stories are very easy and very popular. Failures are more difficult. And something quite critical, that for me to be able to stand here and talk in front of you, I need to have confidence and validation of what I'm saying. I cannot be presenting you with an artificial fake story, because you might ask me for a reference. And I have to have that ready for me. Right? So it's a lot of work. Some are easy to find, some are more difficult. Okay. So again, this is similar to all my course lectures. I'll have 6 different type of areas, 1 success story and 1 failure story. If I had a month to cover this course, I would have gone through details of everything, but I would strongly advise you to please at least read it 1 time. You will enjoy it, you will like it, you'll look at the examples and you'll get some good ideas from there. And if you have any questions, we can always talk. Okay, so key lessons from case studies. Product market fit is paramount. Product has to fit the market. An idea is of no value if there is no taker for it. So whatever you think for your innovation, it has to, you have to think of buyer, who's going to buy it from me. Scalability is critical. That's where a lot of innovations fail. Making 1 or 2 or 5 units is easy. Start talking of scalability, that poses a lot of challenges. How would you create big quantities? And if you are successful, you might want to sell millions of those nanobots. How will you manufacture? You might go to China to get them manufactured. They'll do it 1/3 price than what you'll pay in India. But that's a strategy, you might use that. Right team matters, it's all team effort. You have to have the right people, that's the key. And adaptability is the key. You might have to change it. I mean, right now you are saying that I'll do marine bioproducts. You might define there are 100 marine bioproducts, I want to focus on those 2 only. That might be available in only Sri Lanka. So maybe your market is now restricted to Sri Lanka, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, commercialization models. You should spend a few minutes on this. So licensing. If I take my levodopa and carbidopa example, licensing is one of my options. I have a provisional patent filed. We have shown some data. We are collecting some PK information. I can license it to someone. Give me $500,000. You can have everything. We can transfer patent rights to you. You take it from there. I'm out. Again, Shark Tank. You would have seen some of that happening, right? Spin out. Our company is talking to me that they want me to start a spin out company, and I'm avoiding it right now for various reasons, but they are quite fussy that we can find spin out company. Companies have a lot more flexibility than typical universities. Universities have a lot of bureaucracy that we deal with. Spin out company is like your shop, you can choose what you want to do, but it comes at a lot of extra pain points as well. Then you need to find money. You need to find investors who is willing to invest in spin out. So that's a different game. Joint venture, you can find someone who works with you. For example, I need a lot of tox studies done for my formulation. And I'm not a pharmacologist, I'm not a toxicologist. So when I'm here in Punjab University, I may come across, Induji can probably introduce me to a toxicologist who can say, bring the formulation to us, we can do the tox studies for you. That's joint development. Sale of IP. I can sell to someone. Now there's a difference between sale of IP and licensing. Sale of IP is one-time sale. You give it to someone and you're out. Sorry, I should not have used that example. Licensing is where you license them for a certain part of the work or for a country. One of our formulation, which we have developed for fish, we have licensed it to a company only for Australia. We can sell it anywhere else in the world, or I can give it to any other company. That's licensing. Sale of IP would normally be, I'm giving you everything, you take it from here, give us money, we are out. And in fact, you sign a contract that I won't work on it again. Okay? So there are different types of commercialization agreements. Role of partnerships, university-industry partnerships is a big thing. I showed you some examples. With levodopa, carbidopa, I'm trying to find a company that will partner with us. I don't have that as yet, but I'm talking to few. Okay. Startup, corporate alliances, government, private sector collaboration. You would have seen a lot of these happening in India. These days, government is pushing very hard. I mean, just the fact that we are talking about this topic is a sign that government is keen to promote these kind of interactions. Future of commercialization, faster cycles. Everything is becoming faster. Technology, lunchtime we were talking, technology is advancing such a fast pace. I don't know how you feel. I am feeling I'm not able to keep up with it. There is so much coming out in AI these days. Every lab meeting, I have 15 people. Every time we talk, we sit down, we talk. What's new? Who's using which programs? Somebody in my team used some program to create these slides for me, right? Which I can't do it. This person did for me. So it's just evolving so fast. The cycles are becoming much faster. Global ecosystems, impact investing, growing focus on social. Everything that we do these days, green, social, economic, climate, those words have to be there. So with Shivan's invention on nanobots, he might have to say if somebody goes and digs out marine products, process, they'll use so much solvent, this. My nanobot can just go and pick up what they want. He would sell it like anything. There'll be investors who would love that. So that's becoming a big part of the thing. Digital twins and simulation, virtual testing. A lot of things can be done virtually now. I mean, we are already almost talking of not using animals for toxicological studies. So a lot of digital modeling and all that is coming. That's part of translation as well. Key takeaways, IP is your shield and sword. Shield because it protects you, sword because it costs a lot of money. You have to be able to invest money to protect yourself. Partnership, power, progress, resilience through the valley. That's the biggest thing. You know what's the success rate of small businesses in the world? 5%. 95% small businesses fail because they can't get over this valley of death. They start, they reach somewhere, they can't move very far just because they can't go through this. Impact as a driving force, that's the key. Okay, these are some references. Okay, so I'll stop here. I'll happy to take up any question on what I've covered so far.
So I want to ask, like, if we are working on university, suppose we are working in university network, you are developing something and now you want to partner with some industry. So how the university take it over? Will they get any share in profit because you are using their resource? You are at their location, or you will get it personally? Like how you get this commercialization done?
Okay, I'll tell you my experience. So the question is, if you are working at the university level, how do you partner or license your development? This would vary from country to country. Even within the country, the way NIPER does it would be different to Punjab University and Chitkara University. Every university is different, every organization is different. My experience with universities are very bad at managing it. I've worked in US, New Zealand, India, NIPER. Most universities are quite bad at handling it. when I'm saying bad, if you talk to, I was reading about Harvard the other day, we were talking to someone. Harvard has a policy of 2-2-2. If a scientist comes to business office and says, I want to protect this innovation and want to license it to someone, they will take maximum 2 days to come back to you. That's the first two. Then the second is 2 weeks. Within 2 months, they will assess your innovation and they will figure out, is it new, is it patentable, this and that. 2 weeks. And then the last two is 2 months. Within 2 months, they will find industrial partner to you. Okay? This is a dream, but can happen in Harvard only, not in Chitkara, not in Punjab University. Punjab University, I'm sure if Induji sends an email to someone in business office, I have this innovation, I want to file a patent, she'll probably wait for 6 months for somebody to look at that email. Am I right? Yes? Yeah. Our universities are slightly better. We get an answer in about a month. And then, but our challenge is we can develop something, but they insist on having an industrial partner before they can invest money on patenting. Now, it's a chicken egg story. A company won't talk to you unless you have a patent, and they won't patent unless they have a company lined up. That's the biggest issue for us. To further answer your question, what's the benefit, who gets it? Typically, every university has different rules. Our university has a rule of 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Any invention, so my levodopa and carbidopa, let's say a company, Spanish company decides to buy it from us for $500,000. They would take 1/3 out straight as cost for supporting. 1/3 they will, no, before doing that, they will look at what all has gone into it. So they might say, we paid 6 months salary to Sanjay for working on this. So that's a salary taken out. We spent X amount to file a patent, that taken out. They will put a number of those things. So out of 500, I might be left with say 300 to distribute. Then they will say this 300, 1/3 is going to university. We lose 2/3, 1/3 to different departments, 1/3 to the department, 1/3 comes to investigators, which will come to me, and then me and my team. So in this case, out of 300, 100 that is left, I'll have to distribute between me, my PhD student, my technical staff. In the end, all of us might get $10,000 each by the time we do it.
So it started from 500 and
Academics don't get anything. Academics work for free. No, I was telling you about the publication this morning. We work for free. Same thing happens with research. I'm giving this lecture on commercialization. I'm talking of patents filing. I'm talking of licensing. As of today, I have not made $1 from any university, in addition to my salary. For one or the other reason, they'll find ways of keeping the money.
because in our budding phase when we are having idea, obviously we are either in PhD or postdoc, then what's the benefit?
So question is, in the stage where we are, you're a PhD student or a postdoc, if you want come up with an idea, what's the point of doing it? Practically no point. If you look at commercialization model spin-out companies in different countries, most of those come out of postdoc work. So what you need to do is develop something in PhD. If you have innovation, keep it with you. Don't put in your thesis. Put whatever rubbish, get your exam done, get your degree, become a postdoc somewhere, develop the prototype, work for 1 year, leave the university, start a spin-out company. Become independent of university. If you are part of university sector, you will never make any money. And then start a spin-out company and then come to university that partner with me and work with me on developing this product. Then university can't take it from you because you have the right as an. So majority of spin-outs in Western world, in US, in UK, they are started by postdocs because they have the idea from innovation. I'm not giving the right answer, but I'm telling you the real crux of it.
Satisfactory answer, at least it's true.
It's true, it's true. Universities, India is horrible. I still have money at Nipur from my job, where Nipur got money for selling one of the patent thing. They never gave it to me as a staff. After 20 years, I'm still waiting that one day, hopefully I'll get that. And that whatever money, I was supposed to get about 3 lakhs at that time. I mean, 20 years ago, 3 lakhs was a lot of money. These days, 3 lakhs has lost its value. But I won't get in this lifetime. And I tried breaking my head with the walls. No luck. And that's part of the reason India is lagging behind in translation. They have to change this model, otherwise that's what will keep on happening. People like me and Indu and all of us, we lose our motivation, or we end up burning our life without reaching anywhere. Some of us stop doing it, some who are motivated take it longer, but in the end everybody fizzles out and nothing comes out of the labs. So the model has to change. It's changing it's changing. Whatever is happening in India is happening in a good way. Just to generate this awareness so that some of you, if out of this class of 60, 70 students, if one student comes up with an innovation one day, which becomes a successful product, that's wonderful achievement for the government of India. To get me here and to be talking about it and you to be listening about it. It's a good return on investment, right? All right, any other question before we get to your assignment? Anyone? No? We're running out of time, so we'll do it quick. So I'll stop here. Now let's get into assignment exercise. So create a group of 6. Now I know it's not very easy process. Some of you don't know each other. So maybe spend 10 minutes, move around, talk to each other, think of who do you want to have 6 partners. I don't want to help in this process because I can't help it. Best is you create your own group. Okay? Go with the understanding that everybody will contribute. They're going to be great group members. Let's do that. 10 minutes, start now. Move up, get up.